Boosters, here we go. We're pretending to be CEO of the company. So as they bring us in, we're brought in to the Wizards of the Coast company, and we need to be able to make it make more money than it is currently now. And they're in a downtrend, right? Product isn't moving as well, and attendance is kind of lower at the GPs, but we're not too concerned about that because that's not how we make money. How do we make money? We actually sell boxes. Right, we don't sell cards, we sell boxes filled with cards. If we don't sell boxes, then we don't make money because we don't sell individual cards. Now, what does our consumer base usually purchase? They purchase cards. Why do they purchase cards? Because it's cheaper than purchasing boxes. If your consumer base doesn't want your product, then that's bad. We want our consumer base to want to purchase boxes. There's one way to make them purchase boxes, but we can't do it because it's the reserve list and we're just told we're never going to operate on it again. So we have to ignore that for now. However, we need to observe what people are currently playing, currently flocking to. And we know what they're flocking to, which is old school Magic. Old school Magic has taken off. We can tell that simply by watching Collector's Edition. They have started allowing Collector's Edition to be utilized in the tournaments, and therefore it exploded in price. And, well, that's good news for a CEO being brought into the company, because we can utilize that. But wait, you can't print reserved list cards, Open Boosters. What are you talking about? Well, you need to create a vehicle such that it creates it for you. All right, so I'm not trying to be shady. Not trying to be shady at all. We're not bringing Power 9 back into the sets. It's not being reprinted. Don't panic. I'm not replacing anything. Trust me, I'm not replacing anything. Every card I create in front of your eyes won't be a replacement to anything that's in Power 9 or any of the reserveless cards or dual lands or anything like that. Trust. Be okay with it. Just go with it. All right, so I'm going to go into Mark Rosewater's office in the R&D lab and say, hey, Mark, we need to do something. Now we want you to create this vehicle for me. It's going to be awesome. And he's going to tell me, get out of my office and throw stuff at me. But after we do all that, we'll go ahead and have a conversation. And I'm going to tell him, I need a card. I need a card that on cast, even if the creature is counterspelled, or any, well, it's going to be a creature of some type, so we'll make a 2/2 bear. Just for playing make-believe, it can be any creature you want. Merfolk, I don't know, devil horn, a thump rabbit. Anyways, so on cast, it spits out a token that has a casting cost, that has two choices. It does stuff, has two choices on cast. If it's counterspelled, this still happens. Either A, goes to board, or B, goes to graveyard. Now I know what you're thinking. Tokens don't do that. That's why it's a special token. Special token. The craziness of it all. How can you do that? That's terrible. No, I'm just kidding. It's great. It's fabulous. Because what we're doing is adding a new card to your deck. We're going to make your 60 card deck and turn it into 61 cards. So if you're playing with 60 cards, it adds a card to your deck. Because it goes to your graveyard, it goes to board. If it gets destroyed on board, it goes to the graveyard. If it's somebody exiled, it goes into exile. It's not a big deal. Because we're just going to create it. So what can we do with this? All right, well, let's pretend we can do something. Because we can always pull stuff out of our graveyard, and being on board is on board. All right, so we have our 2/2 bear. Let's say it creates a Scathe Zombie. Put a little black mana symbol there. Put this 2/2 there. If it's only costing 2, guess where it's going to go? Your graveyard. Yay! Now how do we get it on board? Well, we can now put it in our hand too. I know there's a black 3 zombie that puts stuff into our hand. Gravedigger? Maybe. I can't remember the name. Names elude me. Anyways, I know it can go to your hand now. Boop. So I can stick that Skay zombie in my hand from a token, special token. So that's kind of the vehicle that we're working with. And you can do that with instances. You can do that with sorceries. You can do that with, I don't need to write that down. We can do that with anything. And so I want you to create these kind of cards. You can put that and make it a lightning bolt if you want to. And then have another character out there. Well, actually, I think the creature already exists too. That casts a 1 mana cost symbol for no mana, and you know, it exiles it as end of a turn or something, and it does what it's supposed to do. And it creates these cards that go into your deck. And if it actually shuffles it into your library, well, it shuffles it into your library. It's a card now. However, these particular cards cannot start in your deck. Well, in gameplay, right? These guys over here, these special tokens cannot be in your deck before you start playing. You can't. Not going to happen. They are not tournament legal. Unless you cast this card and then it becomes tournament legal. See what I'm saying? I think everybody's tracking with me. It could be an instant, it could be a lightning bolt, it could be anything you want. That's the vehicle that we're going to use. Hang in with me. We're going back to old school now. All right. Let me erase the board. All right. So now you know the vehicle that we're dealing with. It can either go to board or it can go to graveyard. All right. So we're going to create the first thing, and you're going to go, no, I'm just thinking. Because none of these cards can exist unless Mark Wormswater says, yes, we're going to do this. All right. Okay, so we have a white mana symbol up there. Yay, white mana symbol. All right. Then we're going to have a 0/1 guy. Oh, that doesn't sound too good. However, uncast. Uncast. A restriction. So 1 white, and only if you haven't played a land. Choose a color and pay 2 life. Create dual land. And it'll have the name of the dual lands that you can create, you know. In this case, we're going to choose island. It'll create tundra. Get it? And we can do this with all the colors. It's a 0/1 creature that creates a dual land. And now, before you start going, oh no, things are terrible now. Well, it's just Hollowed Fountain. You pay the 2 life and you get your dual land. However, now we can print that token. But it has to be, Mark, with the original artwork and original frame. Has to, because that's part of the prerequisites. So when we create these tokens, make sure we do that, at least. We can add the text in there, special token. I don't think they'd care about that, right? So we'll have the original artwork and original frame. Why not? We create this tundra. Boom. It doesn't make anything better, but, you know, Hollowed Fountain, here we go. All right? So we can do this with all the colors. And it's a little bit easier because you get to choose your color on entry. All right, let's go to another one. We got 1 white. He is a 1/1. When he drops to board on cast, he creates a Mox Pearl. All right. Restriction. Can only have 1 Mox pearl in deck. If you cast this again, it's never gonna, you don't get any more Mox Pearls. You only get the one. That's it. And now we have the tokens for the Moxes because we can go through all the colors. It restricts it, but you get it, right? So there's a huge restriction there. You cast this once. You don't want to put 4 of these in your deck. Because that's, well, maybe you do. I don't know. Maybe you want to guarantee yourself a Mox Pearl. But maybe that's something you want to do. I don't know. Well, time will only tell. But seriously, you only get 1 Mox Pearl per deck, so it's only going to exist once. That's it. And that's going to establish all the Moxes, for all the Moxes. All right, next card. Let's do that. All right, so Ancestral. We got 2 blue, 3. He's a big boy. Because you can make anything you want, right? On cast. And can only happen once per game. Ancestral. The same rule as applies to the Mox. Can only have 1 in your deck. That's what I meant. If you figure out a way to exile it, that might change things. Because then it's exile. It's not in the game. So that's fine. I think that should be fine. All right. On cast, boom, you can cast Ancestral Recall. Okay. So it pops out, Ancestral Recall. You get to draw 3, and then it goes to graveyard. Unless the person counterspells it. Then it goes to graveyard anyways. Or they exile, and then it just disappears forever. It doesn't make it better, right? 2 blue and 3. It doesn't replace Ancestral Recall. It's a token. It doesn't start in your deck. People can counterspell the dragon. It doesn't go off. It's easier to counterspell something that's 2 blue and 3 than it is anything else. You know? So these are the kind of ways to get the Power 9 in there, right? So that's the Ancestral, the Moxes. Black Lotus, I was thinking of a creature that is 2. Oh, no, it was a 1, but it had a restriction of it thing. So when it on cast, same rule, you can only have 1. And on cast, it pops it, but it casts it in the tapped position. That's all it did. Taps it in tapped position, because that way it gives your opponent a chance to unlock it. So it would come into play in a tapped position. All right, so how do we make money using this property? Well, we can take the tokens that we've just created, like the powerful Power 9 and that kind of stuff, tokens and dual lands, and release them 3 to 2 in each box. And if we do that, then people will actually flock to the boxes themselves because there'll be some value in them. And having value in the boxes are going to make people buy the boxes. And if we sell the boxes, then we make more money. Maybe we can make a better card stock. So it's a pretty simple idea. And if you like just the mechanic, because it probably won't do it, I don't know. If you like the mechanic itself of the creating of a card that actually goes into your library, maybe send that over to Mark Rosewater, or maybe suggest him to watch it. I don't know. And maybe it could happen. You never know. You know, they might take my idea and run with it, or make it better. Probably make it better. And I'd like to do a special shout out and thank you to Edwin, the engineer, who I conversed with about this video, and he helped me make it better. All right, thank you very much. Hit the like button, subscribe, make a comment, and I put Edwin's link down below and the link to Old School Magic down below, and so please check it out and enjoy. All right, have a nice day, everyone.